Hey y'all, 30 days of Moe Love, day 30. This is it, this is the end, this is all I got. I thank everyone for your support. Thank you guys for everything. It's been such a journey. It's been so nice. And yesterday, when I was thinking about how it is ending, I was talking with my family and friends and stuff like that. I also had a great weekend. It was like outstanding. It was real normal, but it was just like really great. But anyway, so I was like, oh, what should I do for the last day and this and that, you know? And I'm like, well, maybe I'll reflect on my videos and do like a culminating message type thing, you know? But I think my videos kind of like speak for themselves. I mean, if I had to summarize, it would be like, love yourself, surround yourself by positive people in love, be authentic, be loyal, do what you know is right for you. Don't make decisions that puts you in bad situations. Be truthful and you'll be happy. Like, basically, make a plan. Stick to the plan. Follow your heart. You know, live in reality. You know, but most importantly, love yourself or whatever. That's what this is all about. Like, you know, people are like, oh, you can't be loved until you really love yourself and stuff like that. And then I've heard some people say like, oh, that's so unfair, that's so crazy, how could you tell someone that they can never have real love if they don't love themselves or whatever. And I think it's more like knowing what real love is, you know what I'm saying? Like being able to identify what real love is. How can you identify what real love is if you've never seen it before? You know, so you think you know what love is, you think you know what it's all about, and then you get into these situations and it ain't that, sis, it ain't that, you know? And you just can't figure out why you can't get it right. Or like, if you keep trying with the same person and it keeps like messing up, or if you keep trying to do something like in your life and it's not coming to fruition and you don't understand why or whatever, it's because it's something that you don't understand. It's something that you can't identify, you know? Like when there's red flags, you don't always see them and stuff like that. And that's not just externally, that's within too. Like we are human. So just like an outside person can come and be like, oh, I see red flags, you can be like, oh man, I see red flags within myself. I was talking with my little sister. I was arguing with like an ex. Well, like not real arguing, just the imaginary arguing that I do with an ex. And I was like, man, why always, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's always the same type conversation, always the same type thing. And then I was like, oh my God, it's me. So it's not me, but it's me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not making people make bad decisions, but how my energy is, where I'm vibrating, I'm attracting certain situations and certain people, you know? And so if I want to change who I'm attracting, I got to change like my energy. Yesterday, I was hanging out with this guy I've been dating, this guy I've been talking to and stuff like that. And, you know, we were just talking, hanging out and stuff like that, like normal or whatever. And then he had said something the other day, and then I had told an ex, and the ex was like, oh yeah, I like him, I like how he think. And my little antennas was like, oh no. And so the next time I talk with the guy and stuff, I'm like, let me look at this guy for real. Let me like listen, let me see. And so I was looking at him and I was like, oh my God, he is my ex. He is my ex. Like, verbatim, word for word, beliefs, thoughts, the things they say, movements, gestures, stuff like that. But then I was like, oh man, my other ex was my other ex. And then I was like, oh, my other ex was my other ex. And then I was like, oh, this wasn't like my other ex, but we didn't get very far or whatever. And so it's like, oh, okay, I see that I'm attracting a certain type of energy. So in loving yourself, it's also like being real with yourself, be understanding why you are where you are and what you need to do to get out of it. Like, you cannot heal in the same environment that damaged you. You cannot grow in the same environment that stunted your growth. So it's like people be like, oh, I gotta get out the hood, and it's like, oh, everybody talk about get out the hood, nobody talk about building up the hood, stuff like that. Wow, you know, the truth is in the balance or whatever, and mindset is in effort. But it's like, yes, you want to get out the hood because you've had these certain experiences in the hood, right? You've been at this level in the hood, and so your mental mindset is at this level in the hood. And so it's not so much like get out of it, you know, turn your back on people. It's more so like get out of this toxic situation that you're in, so it doesn't continue to like hold you down, hold you back, and continue to stunt your growth. And so you might be able to go out there and then like heal and grow and then come back or whatever and have a better understanding of how to make this change and things like that. But while you're like in the knee deep of it, it can't change or whatever. It can't change or whatever. Some education, wisdom, growth, something needs to happen or whatever. Something needs to happen in order for you to change that situation. Something also that I wanted to share about, and this is just like so random. I guess it is like culminating everything. It's just kind of been like my random thoughts or whatever. I've been in like a really different energy lately. It's not like good or bad. It's just like different. It just kind of reminds me of the energy I was in when I was in like college, or you know, it reminds me of that like that fresh kind of like hopeful, I'm about to get things done, next step in life type energy or whatever. So forgive me if my thoughts are kind of like everywhere or whatever. But something that I do want to say or whatever is that like the impossible is so possible. It's so real. Like, you can create, you can think, you can create whatever you want, you know? And I think a lot of times I used to tell people like, I know I can have whatever I want. I know I can do whatever I want. My issue is not in belief. It's not in belief in God, belief in the universe, belief in myself. My issue is the lack of my imagination. You know what I'm saying? My issue is like, oh, if you can create anything, if you can do anything, what would you do? Like, knowing that, understanding that, applying that, believing that. You know what I'm saying? So, my mom, she used to tell me, like, she would be like, you haven't decided if you want to be with this person or not. Or you haven't really decided if this was your... And I'm like, of course I've decided. What are you talking about? Like... Of course I decided I'm with them, right? But now as an adult, I understand what she was saying, and I'm not at the level, like, wisdom wise, to like express it clear and concisely what she was saying or whatever. But like, you make decisions, you know what I'm saying? Like, you decide like what you want, and it's like, okay, people talk about conditional and unconditional love, and then unconditional love is like, I love you no matter what, right? And then there's some people that's like, I don't believe in unconditional love, because if something happens, I'm not going to love this person anymore. And not being with someone and not loving someone is two totally different things or whatever. But when you decide to like, this is what it is, then there's not that in the back of your mind like, oh, if this happens, I'm leaving this fool, or I'm not messing with this fool or whatever. Like when you make a decision, you make that decision. It's not some counter decision going on like in the back of your head or whatever. I mean, and life change and things change, and you got to shift accordingly or whatever. But like in life, I feel like it's important to decide, even if you're not deciding like on like how you're going to do something, even if you're not like you're deciding on what it is. You're like, this is my goal, this is what I want, and I'm sticking to it, I'm going for it, or whatever. And if God has another plan, then he'll direct me elsewhere, you know. But it's not like just kind of like letting life happen to you. It's being like proactive in life, like making the decision. So anyway, that was kind of random or whatever. But all this like 30 days of Moe Love, I feel like a totally different person. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm really excited to go in on like my next little venture. But anyway, I do think that like miracles are real. I do think that like manifestation, law of attraction, you know, deciding what you want and then saying that, the universe will bring it to you. I really think, I mean, like, I am like struggling. The sun is killing me. I really think that stuff is real, and I'm really excited like about my life, and I'm really excited about like my awareness and my little awakenings, and this brand I'm creating, and the people that I've helped, that I continue to help, and the people that help me. Like, I'm just like so blessed, and I'm just like really looking forward to what's coming 2019, and what that's gonna be like. So the sun. Oh, my lights. Oh, okay, I want to say this as well. I was talking to one of my friends or whatever, and they were like, oh, you're evil, you know. And I was like, oh, what have I done? And they were like, oh, well, you didn't do anything. You haven't done anything to anybody. And I was like, okay, so how am I evil or whatever? They was like, it's just within you. And I was like, oh, you're confused. That's not evil within me or whatever. You just don't understand what true evil is. I was like, that's light and power. That's power within me. We all have power within us. We all have gifts. Like how I was saying, my gift is to see. I wasn't talking about on no psychic stuff or whatever. My gift is just to see what's going on. Sometimes two people can be having a conversation and they can be talking about two different things or on two different levels, and I see it. Like I see it. I can take things that has happened before or whatever, and like with great accuracy say what's going to happen next or whatever. Like, I just see it. That's my gift. And so we all have a light, we all have a gift, we all have that. But a lot of times people get confused and don't recognize it, you know what I'm saying? And they want to like turn it into something different because they don't understand it or whatever. And so like, you want to say that my light or my power, my inner power is evil because it intimidates people. It's intimidating. It makes people uncomfortable. You know, these are all things that are seen as evil. But in reality, it's just people interacting from their place and not from my place, if that makes any sense. Okay, so anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for all the support. I got more to come, more to come. I appreciate it. 30 days of Moe Love. Happy February, y'all. We going into March and we about to make it happen.